Welcome back to the puddins.fab.shop, where this week we are working on the absolute rusty turd of an international. Oh, no, not this thing. We need to get that out the way. Call in the heavy tower. No! She'll tow. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, she's C-clamped to that cart pretty good. Assistant driver, load up! She overlapped the flatbed. I know what I'm thinking anyhow. I ain't got nowhere to drive. Slow and steady. Hold the line. Hold the line. Eureka. Wouldn't it have been ironic if we used the sheet metal brake to do more damage? Ironic? Yes. Surprising? Not at all. On the plus side this morning, the yeehaw refused to start. Just my damned old 110. Since we are here with the flatbed hauler. Yep. Yeah, I chihuahua. Yeah. Oh man. I looked over and was like, oh man, the Scout's bleeding. Y'all remember I sprayed those insides with the primer? I never seen that rust hole until just now. It's all right. I love rust repair. There's a damned old chrome stack we're gonna put on this rig today. It's just damned old Western hauler. I live off of Lay's potato chips and beef jerky sticks. I've drove a big rig many a year. Did a 1,500 mile run in 4 hours one time. It was back before these e-books, okay? That's when men were men, when oil rigs were made of wood. Whew, we're getting distracted. This is so much faster than carrying stuff over there. Better watch out! Better watch out! I'll get you! Now, I didn't think I'd have enough beanie weenies to push that thing up that hill by myself, actually. We're not working on this blue rusty turd. Not on this blue rusty turd. Not on this blue rusty turd. This one? Oh, you mean this blue rusty turd? Not a chance. Nope, not today. Not now. Not never. Dang, I didn't realize how many blue rusty turds I had around here. We're working on that blue rusty turd. Y'all seen the build? Y'all know the floor's plumb cut out. That Cummins and 6-speed is whoa, tucked up in that cab. And before we can sheet metal that in, we need to do a little bit more fabricating. We need to figure out exhaust. It's kind of crucial. As of right now, it looks like it's gonna just shoot the passenger in the chest. It's perfect. Other than that, some steering perhaps. Maybe a little braking. That thing's probably gonna need brakes. You get that big Bertha, get old Wheel Hop Wilma moving, she gonna need to stop. That's a lot of weight going. With Captain Big Ears pulled in the shop. Yeah, guys, we got all the turds around here. You know how many turds we got? We've got enough turds that yesterday, a toilet magically appeared in my front yard here. Surely Chris has nothing to do with this. 10 chain yankers, go. Beds up. Safety stand in place. Now we can look at some exhaust options. Speaking of exhaust, some of these suggestions have been exhausting. Puddin', you ain't got a hair in your butt cheek if you don't put twin donkey dingers on the backside of that thing. I want to see at least 8-inch chrome stacks behind it. Oh yes, we will go for the classic. Run it next to the body so you burn yourself getting in and out. No, you put it behind it. Oh, we're already built that big flatbed. Let me notch my flatbed for the chrome donkey dinger. No, This'd be too small anyhow. I know what y'all want. If it was my trucks, it'd have at least a 12-inch stack, cause I ain't no sissy. I ate bologna sandwiches for breakfast. Hang on, I'll get her fixed up. Chrome 12-incher right there. Hey, I'm being silly, but I just made our new exhaust tip. When you put exhaust on that thing, you better hang a 9-inch trash can behind the tire so it does the echo pop. All right, now that I'm done describing what people's exhaust suggestions have sounded like, just having fun, don't get offended. If you're the guy who suggested the 12-inch chrome stack, I'd rather put them on my golf cart. We have a kit right here because that's a 2008-ish Chevy chassis. Surprisingly, finding a downpipe back kit in 5-inch was extremely hard. 4-inch, no problem. I think 5-inch sounds be better, just a little deeper. So I found this kit. My brother-in-law has installed this brand before. It's B7EPUS, also known as I can't pronounce it that way neither. It's got the damn panther on it. Supposed to be a bolt-in kit for this chassis, allegedly. Now obviously this chassis would have never come with a 12 valve. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't have matched up to where we put ours to work with all this. So right there we got our turbo. We are then gonna have to figure out how to connect that. Also, my brother-in-law, when he got me some parts, he got us an engine brake. So this is not designed to work with that kit. And that's our job here, folks, is to figure out how to make all of this work. I want to tuck everything as close to the motor as possible because any more we come out this way, the more leg room we lose for our passenger. And Theo needs a ton of it. He's like 2 foot tall, not even. So other than that, we're going for a nice, just tucked in here exhaust. Nothing crazy. Y'all know I'm not a huge tailpipe fan, so whatever we can do that's just not outrageous, I'm here for. Subtle and clean. I pull up on the job site, baby. Oh yeah, she got the spray foam insulation. I feel like we're building a house between this shirt and that spray foam. Oh, the old bazooka tube. This is that good stainless that you can MIG weld. High-end stuff. All right, does that go to the downpipe then? All right, well, Theo for one is very excited because he got a new box. This stuff, when they say stainless, I think they just meant the hangers. I just didn't read the fine print. Woo, that's some big old honking stuff. Big old 5-inch. Comes with clamps. Can't say I'm a fan of that. Of course, it's puddins.fab.shop, not puddins clamp shop. You guys let me know down in the comments. Do clamps even work? I have never in my life clamped exhaust. I just don't see how it would seal. And I guess maybe it ain't that big of a deal. I don't know. Y'all let me know. You like it or not? Y'all didn't know my dog's from the streets. He was a stray and he loves boxes. As soon as he seen me cut the flaps off, he was like, he come over here. He's like, ooh, I got a new box. Check it out, dude. That's your new bedroom. Over here's your living room. Got your work coat. All right, there's your closet. You're set, pal. Oh, that's great. I just noticed it came with the 0 instructions. Solid. So we're gonna just use a little guessing, and to me, I think this piece right here with the kick up, or kick down maybe, is to clear this, because it's very subtle compared to those. I don't see anywhere for that hanger off that kind of, the one that would connect to the downpipe, so I think we're gonna start with installing that one. We'll figure out here back, hopefully, and then obviously there forward to the downpipe and turbo all requires modification anyhow. Should just put damn chrome stacks on it. I wouldn't have this problem. We got 2 hangers here. I don't know if this kit's capable of fitting all Chevrolets. Maybe something like that. Little looby doobie on her, huh? We're off to a solid start. We're already hitting our support for this we had added. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, hey, there's another hanger here. But there ain't no way that would go back there. Yeah, flip-flop that one. Not sure if that's how it goes, but either way, has potential-ish. And this piece has this hanger. That should go in that back one right there. Come down, and that should kick out towards our tailpipe. So that pretty well leaves this one to kick that up. You definitely want to get lubricant all over your exhaust. That way you smell good everywhere you drive. Also good for tires. Nom, 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 nom. I still had the old piece of hanger. She did slip together quite nice. Let's see. This one's flared, that one's not. This one's got the double flare. No flare, no flare, don't care. I'm assuming if you had a kit with a muffler, this is where the muffler would go. Oh yeah, look, we're getting somewhere, kinda. Hey-o. Woo, we got lucky and we're clearing our fifth wheel, or gooseneck, whatever you call that thingy-mabobber. Oh, this is looking all right. I don't want to clamp no more than what we have to. What I think we're gonna do is probably try putting like a self-tapper in this to hold that. Then maybe we'll index that one, how we want it. Self-tap it to hold it. And then we'll see if we can remove from here back as one big piece. If we can slip it in and out, then we can weld all of that and eliminate a bunch of clamps. I'm making sure to slide this forward till this bottoms out. That way it's a tight connection up here, so we can add maybe a V-beam then right here. So that gives us more wiggle back here we gotta put up with, but that's okay. Real Pot County. We got the self-tapper exhaust, baby. I got a little carried away there. Probably something like that. Something that turns out. Can have a little downward. I'm fine with that. If that bed was down, boom, you see her right there. If we wanted to, we could cut it off back here, and then it'd probably almost disappear due to this. Or, if we're feeling crazy, we get the damn trash can exhaust tip like them boys run. Hooey. Either way, I like that right there. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Boy, we better pump the brakes. I done forgot about these things called helper bags, which dang sure would be right here. Golly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now it does come with a little heat shield, so let's see. Oh shoot, yeah, we're way better than I thought we were gonna be. You can see how that thing saddles over. It actually clamps over, this bracket does, up against that leaf spring. And that bolt's there. Heat deflector shield's like, get out of here. We can see that could be indexed back towards that away, because we're not even close right in there. Woo! All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's kind of the benefit of going with the newer chassis, guys. Bolt-in helper bags, bolt-on exhaust kit, kind of, sort of. Can't beat it. Now the real question is, can we remove this baby? As suspected. We're not gonna weld it yet. We wanna get the full system mocked up, so I put her right back into place. No screws here. This is gonna continue to be our disconnect point. And we definitely want it to be able to wiggle, because now we're gonna get where it's a little more tricky. Let's wiggle in here and see how much regret we gotta live with. Yeah, get in here, Inspector. Woo, she's gonna be close. Oh, look where that reducer is, guys. Right there, I mean, literally right at it. Like, we couldn't have planned that if we tried. Now, obviously, we're not in the clear, because look at that. This is a problem. Torsion bar, cross member, thingy-mabobber. So I'm just suspecting that this entire thing right here is hanging lower than it's supposed to be. This piece is really supposed to rotate up, kind of like so. That would flatten out this hanger. That would get this one also kind of turned where we could add one back there. But for us, what it does is creates this problem of hitting right here. However, our trans cross member and our running boards would sit significantly closer to the ground than that exhaust would. So we just have to decide if that exhaust hanging right there would bother us or not. If we could make this work, obviously reworking a hanger to sit a little truer is a lot easier than redoing the entire thing. I don't know. Let me stare at it. How you gonna get in here and put a second set of eyes on this thing or what? So I think it's gonna benefit us to figure out where to take our one straight piece of 5" we got. Just reduces down to our 4". Instead of jogging up and then either turning this thing plumb funky, which is actually kicking this at an angle even more and creating that, I think we need to get it up kind of where we want it. Possibly take that hanger from back there and work it somehow to hang it right here. And then cut this right here at its lowest point and then slip that on there and weld that. So it gives us more of a straight shot coming right here where this just runs flat. Because if not, we're jogging up, we're jogging down, we're jogging all around for no reason. Ready? Break. Oops, the slicing dice slipped. So I didn't like the angle that was gonna put us at. So now I'm gonna figure somewhere else out. We can weld this on here, and then back onto our exhaust. See, that ain't quite over far enough. All right, there would be pretty good. Mark this, and whoop it. Bend it back towards our exhaust where we got more surface to weld. Voila! One new hanger. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. May not be the smartest to try to cut it right in the bin, but that's what we're gonna do. With that super precise mark I just laid down. It'll work or it won't. No more eyeball work. No rotation in the situation. We hit our dots or our starting point, so it's got me feeling way too confident. Let's cut it. We'll reclaim that as well because I would like to put 2 hangers on this. We may even have to move the other one on the frame side, who knows. Hey, she gonna be custom now, boys. Went ahead and put us one self-tapper in it this time so it don't swing around on us. I just judged that by setting that sucker level. Now let's see how much we regret this. Woo, look, that slip fit. I had a stinking suspicion it would benefit us, and we've been able to cut that on that angle and still get it where we want, because that gets us running pretty flat. Got about a fingertip, more than a fingertip over here, so that's pretty good. I mean, it still don't fix the fact we're gonna have to do some type of jog in here, but I still think it's better than jogging down than jogging up and jogging over, which is what it was gonna take. So we got a couple options here. I don't think we're gonna have enough stuff on hand to make it work where I'd be happy with it. We could make it work if we wanted to really redneck it. I do have a 4" 90. You know, that downpipe flipped around right there. Y'all laughed at all my bolts that are hid in the frame. I took one of the nuts from them and I dropped it. I dropped my nuts. Now if we can set that on there, long story short. I created clearance with it more right there. Don't matter, we're not gonna do this, I'm just showing you. We could make that work. Whoop, whoop. It's a pretty hard 90. In fact, it's 2, 90 then 90. I want something more flowing. So the issue is, I did not think about our body being channeled and everything the way it is, and That takes out some of our clearance for this factory kit to continue to work up that way. Obviously wasn't sure if this was going to create an issue. It is. So I don't have enough 4-inch. I was planning on stepping our downpipe up to 4-inch, trying to build a 4-inch downpipe. So I might have to get some more 4-inch. Because all the other pieces I built or bought to build the downpipe with is all this polished stainless, and I just hate mismatching this stuff. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll stick with stepping this down right here to 4-inch, and then we'll weld all this stuff out, still creating a clamp right there in the middle, and the cab back will be this style of exhaust tubing, and then it'll clamp up right here, and here forward will be the polished stuff. You just can't buy this style of stuff in pieces on Amazon. Everything you get's going to be this polished stuff, so it just kind of is what it is. That don't really bother me as long as from one certain point forward, it's all the same. So now knowing we've got a really good transition point right in here to connect up to, I actually think we need to hop up towards the turbo and build there down back this way. Which means we can get this out of here. Well, I tell you what, my brother-in-law was not playing games when he taped up this turbo. Wasn't nothing getting in there, including me with a knife. I can't even get all this tape. Hell of a tape job he did. Boy, I had to crawl plumb up in here. I bet that took 15 minutes to get all that tape out of there. Golly. So in gathering parts, kind of have a small issue, and that's that I have no clue what I actually have. As in, I'm not a turbo person. I don't know anything about them, and I dang sure don't know what this one is. So I gathered parts, and I was hoping one of the V-bands I had would work with this, and nothing I have works with that, and I don't know what I was supposed to get, so here we are. And I knew this one was cast, but I wasn't sure if it's weldable or not. And looking at it, I found this flange, which looks to be correct. So it does appear I'd found the correct one, and we can just build off of this. I don't see why not. So the goal is going to be to kind of aim over towards this way. Pretty well immediate 90 aiming this way, then maybe we'll have to 45 down. Well, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the more we come back this way or whatever, this is going to have to already be a doghouse, so we want to kind of keep it in that area. We don't want to have to extend the doghouse for our exhaust as well. That's what I'm getting at. So the more we could take it that away, possibly, the more foot space we could have right here for the passenger. Is that a good box, buddy, or what? You got your old double chin going, you're lazy boying so hard. So no matter what, as soon as we come off that old turbo flange, baby, we need a 90. So here's kind of something annoying. And I ordered a bunch of stuff because I suspected this. I had a stinking suspicion. This flange advertises it's for a 3-inch or whatever V-band. So does this one. Unfortunately, there's no actual standard apparently, because these are different sizes. This side is slightly larger. Now, does it matter? Some may tell you it don't matter. Hell, it'll be fine. I don't know. So I ordered a V-band that come with 2 flanges. Obviously, these ones got even a thing where it, oh yeah, that's nice. And it does this crazy thing where they're the same size. Now, does this work with either one of them? No, it does not. I thought that may be a bleep. That's all, folks. I'll see y'all in the next one. I thought that was going to be a problem. That's why I bought a V-band that come with 2 flanges. What we are going to do is cut this off. Another reason I like this one, I could tell there's a lot of extra. We can cut it right behind where they welded it and add our own V-band. Then we will either take this or this, which is a 90 as well. Either way, this one's probably a little longer, and we'll make our own. It's the only option. We'll put this piece of tape down right here. Try to give us a line to follow-ish. I didn't tape that as good as my brother-in-law would have, but oh, I taped it on the wrong side, dummy. We want more than that. So now in typical fashion, this won't be a slip fit. Oh, are we gonna get lucky? Holy cow. Oh no. Nah, that would be asking too much for that to actually slip fit. And that stuff actually being a size it says it is. That would make way too much sense. Very close though, very close. I bet we can make her a slip fit. Just kind of ground that at an angle so it would push in there. And now I'm just gonna tap that till I get a nice even edge all the way around. We'll be ready to weld it. Yeah! Yeah! That's right. That's right. 1 inch weld on each side or so. Put a little dab of filler, but once you get going, there's so much of that thick edge there that I'm just using it, burning it down in there. She'll weld out fine. Wow! A V-band flange that will actually match up. It's a miracle. The decision has been made. I'm gonna trim up this immediate 90, boom, to the other flange, boom, straight to bazooka tube. Little stubby wubby. Oh! Then we'll tack that on the inside. Tacks and little wheels, whatever, fine for now. Boom! We have a flange that actually interlocks and turns 90. Call in the bazooka tube. Oh, that's right. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, baby, there's the flare job. Hold on, we ain't done. Let's get crazy. We're gonna go from 4-inch to 5-inch downpipe. Dang, look at that little hot rod header. Put that on the side of your little cartoon hot rod. Bazooka tube's tacked up. That's gonna be really cool or a bad choice. Whoop. Flange goes back on. Snuggy. I would definitely use a nylon locking nut on exhaust. That makes sense to me. Get our V-band started. And this is gonna be coming on and off, so I actually got us just a regular old M6 nut. That's gonna be big. Woo, it's gonna be tight. All this thinking's made me hungry. I better get us some lunch. Just got off the phone with Christopher and I found out who the real poopa trader is, who brought that toilet here. Oh, we already knew. Mama caught him on camera. I guess I didn't elaborate. The whole toilet thing, there's a letter on it and it says, you've been clogged. If you want this toilet removed, donate to this mission. It's a thing with one of the churches around here. I thought it was funny. So that's a pretty good one. The poopa trader. They got me. Let's figure out how much we're gonna have to shake, rattle, and wiggle this pipe down through there to get even close to where we want it to be. I did get a bag of pie cuts, and we do have just a 45 and a 90. See, we're trying to end up plumb over here though, so that's what gets tricky, is really our exhaust is gonna be like running underneath here-ish. So we could just go straight down as long as, yeah, I don't know. Let me think on it. Could tilt her in, slap a day pie cut on. Now look, we're gaining foot clearance. I'm gonna take this 45, heck with the pie cuts. I don't want to use those unless I have to. And bring that over here, just where I can see my line. I'm gonna make my brother-in-law proud and take this bad girl. Whoop! So that'll get us over here. Check that out, that's flowing good. I think we're gonna be able to drop a piece that goes, hold on, no, you're on you, okay? Quit looking over this way, not paying attention. Straight down a little bit, then maybe we can turn one of them 90s, whoo, going this way, and then because we need to go straight up and down, we may have to add a little straight piece in there, but then we could probably take our other 45 and 45 it out. Get it running straight back like we need it to, and if not, guaranteed a few pie cuts will get us there. Saying all that's the easy part. Somehow holding a 90 and measuring and guessing how much we need to cut off our straight piece, that's the not so easy part. You can't see me, but I'm crawling in. We're gonna hit the oil pan. This will turn down to about right there. We'll figure it out. So tape measure up there. Here comes the 90. No. So back there, I know we're gonna have to be pretty tight. So we gotta get pretty close to the bottom of our floor. Luckily this floor is super accurate. All right, close enough. We'll probably start at 6 inch. I think it's actually gonna end up closer to 5.5. I'll tell y'all what, squeezing underneath here, that trans cross member is a tight fit. The thing to do is squeeze between that running board outside the frame. Whatever works. Y'all know I love my Evolution saw, but I'll be 100% honest. As much as I love that thing, I love it for mild steel. It is, the blades, their blades are pretty terrible for the stainless. I tried that one, it did not last long. So what I recommend is just the classic tape and mark. Get a bunch of marks, tape that sucker, cut it with the cutoff wheel. Six inch. Does a beautiful job. Hey yo. Tape it. Oh, we got way more clearance over there by the engine than I thought. Good deal, Lucille. Thing that's looking good. Just gotta do my absolute best to determine how high we need to go. That's the hard part. I think we're pretty good right where we're at. Holy cow. So then we'll probably shoot over, and then our 45. Eagle Eye's been doing pretty solid, but it's probably time to use a tape measure. What we probably need to do is, let's come back to our rear piece, measure from the inside the frame over to center. Boop, that away. And we'll just say 10 inch. Now I need to get underneath here again and try to figure out how to hold our stuff up and just see when we turn that 45, how far from the inside of the frame are we? Are we 12 inch? Are we 8 inch? Does it somehow work out perfect to 10 inch? It's me again, Margaret. I know it's you, Margaret. Ooh. Don't tell me y'all never listen to Ray Stevens. Oh, he's a genius. All right, where's my pieces? All I need is like 3 more hands. Well, from what I can tell, just kind of roughly looking, his stuff will kind of hit where the center of this cut is. When I rotated as max as I could and everything. So next I'll go off the inside of the frame to that cut. And I'm seeing 9 1/4-ish. So I mean, we're close. We are close. Just kind of eyeballing and taping this piece up. Just doing what I've been doing. So right in there, I'm actually getting at that side of our cut in the floor I was referencing. Not sure if it's quite enough, but I think it's gonna be pretty stinking close. I think we can tack this. Hard to flip down the helmet if it ain't on your head, huh? So we're getting curvaceous now. Alright, I've made the call. With that tacked up, this tacked up, I have this index mark. We're gonna tack them together. Shoo, y'all hope for the best. We'll hope for the best, and we'll just fix the rest. Pretty good fit up on everything. The 45s are the worst. Fitting anyhow. The 90 right there left a little bit of an edge because it ain't perfectly round. But the 45, the one side is completely flush over here, like perfect. Then as you get to the back side, look at that, kind of stepped out. Nothing crazy weldable, just had to use a little filler there to tack it. This will be really good. Dang, looks like we're building some, I don't know, Banshee exhaust or something, ain't it? Bam, bam, bam. Put a rag in our downpipe, even though it really don't matter. And right where this floor's broke, right here there's a lip that's broke down. Hangs down about an inch. It's in our way. Well, it used to be in our way. There's our downpipe. I told you I got that engine brake. I think you're supposed to put them as close to the turbo as possible. Obviously, I didn't want to try to work it in this because this is already complicated enough. But as soon as we get down running straight, underneath the floor right there, we're going with the old exhaust brake. So this is the mounting clamp for it. That obviously makes this easily installable and removable. It's gonna make the engine exhaust brake thingy a pain in the butt because that's kind of heavy and it's gonna be up underneath the floor, but that's fine. It'll be worth it when we're driving and flip that switch and I think that's what they sound. I don't know what they sound like. I've never heard one on a 12 valve. Pack brake's what this thing's called. It shows you exhaust flow direction. As you can see, it's got a little pneumatic cylinder on there, and all it is a valve. So we're gonna take this thing from having high flow and 4 to 5 inch exhaust to flip that switch and just choke her down to nothingness. See, this V-band's on as well. So right there, we're hitting the floor. I've gotta be honest with you though, I'm not overly worried about that. And here's why. 2 huge reasons. Theo Doggy, Stephen Doggy. 2 huge reasons. The pipe is still where we need it. So this is just wider overall. So that's what's bigger. Our pipe is still exactly where we need it. So once it comes back out this side, it's gonna be exactly where we need it. And then these internationals are built for people who are 7 foot tall, which I am not. If you look in my other truck, with the seat in the factory location, you sit here and you have about 1.5 foot of headroom above you. So when we build new floors for this thing, because they're in such premium shape, we can either over here step up 1 inch and come over. We can come over here and then do like a little toe board. We could do one little recess pocket thing to help clear this some. We'll have options. And if this floor is raised 1 inch and we raise our seat up 1 inch, it's still you're gonna sit perfect, guys. It ain't gonna be funky at all. You're gonna have tons of headroom. You're not gonna be sitting high in here looking out of place or nothing. So still be GUD, very good to go. And that's pretty solid. I slapped our V-band on the other side, and now we're gonna see how our straight piece looks. I shoved it up there against the V-band. Got some 1/4 inch plate in between there. And that does a pretty good job of getting us here in this general area. She may work yet. That's the problem though. See that gap edge? About 3/16 of an inch. And that cut is pretty straight up and down. So we'll pull that out. We'll cut her at an angle, taking off that 3/16. Probably then try tacking it to the flange and then see if we can index that flange in there and find the sweet spot. Got her set up on the dang old weld table. She's old mobile weld table. Kind of like that weld right there on the mobile wheel table. Significant improvement from when I had done exhaust last time, guys. Of course, the more you do something, the better you're gonna get. But I didn't really struggle. Now, granted, other than cutting our one straight piece, the rest of those were already cut from the factory. We just got really lucky we could connect all that together. But even like this piece, trimming it the way I did, this being at a slight angle, the fit up, this is slightly sized bigger, but I still did a really good job of getting a tight fit up on that sucker. And that's the first weld I've done. And that weld right there looks better than some of the better ones from the last time already, so that's good. That shoots us straight back close to where we need to be. I need to get 2 more 45s, or actually I've got that 190. We could probably cut it in half, get 2 45s and make that work. I've got to have just a little bit more of straight 4-inch, so I ordered some. Other than that, we are built from our turbo flange all the way down to there, and then of course they're back on the other side. So now all that's left to do is a whole lot of welding. These are a little spring-loaded punchy punch because I had this clocked a certain way in there. This does run a little downhill. So now we know that's the top when it goes into the exhaust brake. I did finish welding that out. Obviously, I'm not the greatest TIG welder. I'm doing better than before. I know everyone's gonna say, well, use your own grinding stone, clean it better, do this, do that. I know that'll help. The problem is my give a damn level, okay? So you gotta let me give a damn progressively. Each time I just add another little thing, my give a damn slowly goes up, and as it slowly goes up, we keep getting a little better. Eventually, we may be good at this. That's up to the give a damn fairies. See if some flies in and sprinkles a little more give a damn dust on me. If they don't, we're in trouble. Because next thing you know, the don't give a damn goblins may show up, and then I may just don't give a damn and I just MIG weld it. Ooh, ooh. The bazooka tube's welded up. Flange was easier. Some of these pieces welded better than the others, but I'm not mad at it, guys. How long did that take? Long enough for it to get dark out. Don't let that fool you though. Since the time change, it gets dark at 2:30 in the afternoon. Don't forget your little turbo flange. She needs a weldy weld. Yeah. Good morning. Now on this stuff, no even sense in trying to TIG weld it. One, obviously just the material, hangers are already MIG'd on, blah, blah, blah. But because that is a slip fit, where the self-tappers suck down, it's tight. But then like right here, we've got, about an 1/8 inch gap, and that's not good for TIG welding. Luckily, the MIG welder don't discriminate. It loves a gap. Well, pudding, I think it's gonna look funny, because you got 2 different styles of blah, blah. Well's where you get water. Quit hitting me with a well. Do I look like I'm Free Willy? I don't give a damn about no well. Well, if you ask me, that looks just fine. Only grab those if you're brave or stupid, because those are some little hot potatoes right there right now. To weld them up, crank your welder up. Just zap it. Lay us out a cut line. Hopefully we don't regret this. I did get some 5-inch V-band, so if we put that there, I told y'all I pushed that one side in, trying to make sure it bottomed out. Well, that's why, because that, we should be able to go ahead and weld that, and then the other one will reach this. If it don't and it comes up short, we would have always wished it would have. And I may cry a little bit. Every time I cut this tape, for some reason, I smell pineapple. Woo, she fits. That welded out a little right there-ish. That's what we're gonna have to trim down. Weld her up, weld her up, weld her up. Our hanger we added. Let's get this hanger off here. The thing to do is take your cutoff wheel and let's see, probably see better on this side. Come in at an angle right there. That way you're cutting into this. Don't cut down into your pipe. And either way you got grind on it, you can weld it up if you cut it up, but we prefer not to cut it up if we don't have to. And honestly, you can leave it on there, it'd be just fine. If you wanted your exhaust to look unprofessional, knock her off. Me and Randy, we're in the search for some, trying to figure out which brand of Rolox no longer suck. Found these on the Amazon. We'll give them a try. Now with that ground down, no one will ever know we modified that area. Right. Honestly, I probably should have just trimmed that piece up and left it. It's all right. It's all right. So I slapped all of our exhaust back on. I know this work's been exhausting. Tell me about it. We're still not done, but we're as far as we can make it. All that's bolted right back in. Boom, baby, that's right back on. We'll probably end up adding another hanger. I just left that one there, but we'll wait till we get this piece fabricated. Connecting the two, that stuff, I ordered it. Amazon should be in tomorrow at some point. For now, that gets us huge progress in here with seeing how the floors can shape out. The other thing we gotta do is hop to the other side now, and we'll probably just start by pulling that steering column. I don't hate the steering column in this thing. I do love the big old steering wheel. That's what old Clyde Smith likes, is a good old steering wheel, baby, biggin'. Old Clyde Smith likes his steering wheels like he likes his women, a little bit on the hefty side. Ain't nothing wrong with that, just more to grab. But we are gonna take this out. If this thing breaks, which it may never, but if it did, that wouldn't be the greatest. I do like how it kind of sticks up. This gives the big rig feel, even though I'm not after the big rig full feel. Anyways, if the switch ever goes out, we're either then gonna be trying to pull used switches out of other Loadstars, or on this, I guess you could do a clamp-on style, or we can just see what another column would look like in it. So this shaft is actually unsupported right there. Luckily, there's a bunch of pedals in our way. Well, I can see two nuts right there anyhow, and I can kind of feel more up in there. Hey, what do you think about that exhaust work? Pretty good? I thought so too, thanks. Perfect time to use my new sockets. I got these at the Harbor Freight. They had them up by the front. They are Icon brand. They're the kind of shallows. They're not a shallow, they're not a deep, they're an in-between. And this works out perfect because the shallow wouldn't, I don't think, get on there, and the deep would be too much. Yeah. I had a piece of tie wire on that shaft. That's what was holding us out there. Hey, 4 bolts, easy to get to. And we may end up putting this sucker back in. I just want to explore some options. This is a pretty cool column. I love the simplicity of it. What's that? Look, probably little hazards. There's just a regular on-off switch. You can see how that's just a nice flat surface to mount through. And then actually right there, because this sits at such a crazy angle, sticking up the dash, there's a wiggler right there, and then this goes through with nothing supporting it out there. So we could use this, just, you know, modifying another joint down here and adding some type of bearing to support this where it passes through the firewall, because our gear, it don't go to our gearbox. Like on the Loadstar, it probably goes straight into the gearbox. I can't quite remember, or connects to another shaft that goes straight to the gearbox. Ours, being on the Chevy chassis, is towards the front of the truck, so we're gonna have to come through the firewall and then shoot towards the front. And there's gonna have to be some type of wiggler joint in there. So I like the bigger steering wheel, but that thing's massive. So I looked online, I found a 17-inch Chevy looking ish. I don't know. May came in like that 59 Impala or Best Guy Impala, something like that. Either way, she's a 17 incher, which is the biggest one I could find. I want a good size steering wheel. I think that's a 20 inch, so it's still smaller, but it ain't gonna look just tiny. And I done some measuring on it a while back. Kept an eye out until this column went on sale. I think this might be the same one I put in the travel. I can't remember. So we're gonna see, this is a tilt column. We're gonna see if we like it for this. If we don't, we'll probably end up using it in the Scout. So I think for us, we have to have a tilt column for this truck. And that's because when you tilt it and it boop, pops up all the way. That should kind of maybe replicate how that factory column was kind of straight up-ish. I think they just did that because they knew big old hefty men were going to be driving those Loadstars. They usually wear bibs like this, but just packing a little more heat than I got in the belly area. All right, I'm sorry, you know. Sometimes stuff just shouldn't come out of my mouth. So we'll tilt that up, and that's what we're trying to see is how will this, because, yeah, I apologize. I shouldn't be lying on this camera anyhow. I think they did that though because those steering wheels were so dang big they had to take the steering wheel kind of up and forward to give some clearance. So let's see. Let's see. That passes through. Woo, just barely. If we go right there. The thing is, with that tilted all the way up, our steering wheel may hit the dash. So let's set our steering wheel on and then eagle eye it. Woo, she clears. And that does kind of give that feel. Oh yeah, just a little classier now, huh? So I think we'll be able to make this sucker work pretty easy by the looks of it. It looks like it'll fit and clear, kind of what I was hoping for. Now I gotta decide where the dash is. If we put it like right there, then I think this whole thing will pass through. If we want to get the dash to hitting to right there, then I think this is going to be on the other side, so we'll have to extend this and maybe just pass that through. Either way, neither one's really a big deal. Brainstorm a couple ideas here. Looked in the scrap cabinet, found this chunk, which is the same OD as our column, and then this is 1 inch wide, 1/8 inch thick. See if we can't bend this up a clamp on this sucker. I'm not scared to weld on a column. Y'all seen me do it, but right where those wires are kind of has me nervous. And if we can make a piece that this bolts to adapter that then goes to our 2 bolts that are hanging down right there, then we don't have to mess with our black paint on there. It can just stay that color, and that'll be nice. Anytime we don't have to do paint and body work, I'm game. Check that out. And I think we're gonna be able to take it right here. Give it just a little squeezy. Fab will do ya. Oh yeah, we're getting there. That's what we're after. Yeah! How good's your eyeball? I just marked that. So if we add 1/4 inch plate right there, it'll be up to there. And then that'll leave a little bit of that column. So as we tighten that down, it sinks into it and really clamps it down, which is what we're after. I'm gonna square across there and then also eagle eye it because we can't trust that. Oh yes we can. That looks great. You gonna be fabricating, better get you some bibs. You gonna get you some bibs, you better get you some real ones. Roundhouse, made right here in Pot County, America for over 120 years. That's a fact, Jack. I was gonna go measure our bolts, but we can measure off of right here. Hit center on that one, 4 3/8. So we want to go past that some, probably at least, let's say 1 inch. Let's go 1 inch past it. So then that would be 6 3/8. So how wide is this? 2 3/8. We're doing some easy math here. So we need a 2 inch piece to go that way and a 2 inch piece to go that way. I told y'all the scrap cabinet always provides. Check this out. Yeah, this weekend into Monday, I hit a cleaning phase. If y'all know, this thing had been plumb overflowing in a mess. She clean, and it may not look like it, but in here's clean. Finally unboxed all this metric hardware gentleman had sent out. This had a bunch of overflow junk. She's now the exhaust cabinet. Purged this one. Cleaned out underneath there. Cleaned out a whole lot of everywhere. Cleaned up all over there. And I'm sure by now you noticed this was covered in other scrap metal. Sorted through it, added what we needed, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, you probably even noticed we were able to use the wood top workbench this go around, which is pretty rare because it's usually covered in crap. Well, that's a little too narrow. I want the same width, but 1/4 inch thick. Boom. Same width. I'm telling y'all, this old cabinet always provides. Except I forgot. I'd bought some of that stuff, and we got some cleaner stuff right here, and this is a nice build. So let's use the not rusty metal. Couple little tack welds. I figured they may pull up. Sit nice and flat. Welder on the bottom and a welder on the top. Actually, I think I'm backwards. Either way, we can weld it. How many of y'all caught my mistake, huh? Yeah, I was supposed to set that 1/4 inch on there to pick it up, and I didn't. I put the 1/4 inch to the outside, so that's too small. It's all right, built a new one. This one is the perfect length, and I liked how easy it was to jig that up, so I built this one just with that strap longer. That right there should do the trick. Boom, fits that quite nice. And let's go for the first stab in the truck. Boom, baby. Now here's the deal. Obviously we can see that, so the prettier the better. So let's sheet metal this in. It's gonna be a lot of little extra work. But with the front closed in and the ends capped, it'll look more complete. So you'll notice I offset our holes towards the back. That's so after we sheet metal the front, hopefully we can still get a nut on there. Ha-ha! Almost looks like my dad with a connected eyebrow. Sorry, Dad. Dad didn't choose the eyebrow life. The eyebrow life chose him. Shoot, what am I talking about? Chose me too, look at them things. Well, if I didn't pluck that center out, mine would be solid too. To wrap the ends, we want to add some tabs here so we can break that edge around. If you don't watch the second channel, then you probably don't know for working on this rig that I bought this. Surprise! I like to keep it right here where I have a ton of work room. Break your edges. Up next, we're gonna wrap that. We need 1 inch wide, 8 inch long or so. That'll do. Just wrap this bad girl into, whoo-hoo, look at that fit. Would you look at it?
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this?
All right, when you go to grind that away, so far I'm liking these. We'll see how durable they are. Just stay nice and flat, nice and flat. You see that gives us a nice sharp corner. We'll round that with the DA. Now, do not forget, I am not a sheet metal guy, not an exhaust guy neither, actually. So that's all she's getting cleaned up. We could weld all that top and smooth it out. It really don't matter. All of our strength was in our basic shape. Now with that sheet metal added, that's gonna just keep it from wanting to flex. That's plenty strong. I did sand it out a little more here on what'll face the passenger side. Now Slick, y'all know my little bestie boo, he is a sheet metal guy. So if he wants to start inspecting when we're driving and he sees that side, I polish Trey out a little better. If he ever looks in this side, he may be like, oh man, look how sloppy that side is. Damn, look at that fit. She hit the holes. Beautiful fit. Gotta clock it and finish tightening it. All right. Pop the old steering wheel on. Oh yeah, take her vertical. Yeah, I like it, guys. I think we did good. We're gonna free up some room there with a little bit smaller one. It will be nice when you get cruising, being able to pull that down where you're not sitting so kind of silly with your arms. I think we did a nice little upgrade right here. And pretty simple. Most people just don't want to spend the 3 hours it takes to make a slick little sheet metal bracket like that. But that wasn't hard, guys. You can do it. That does kind of show us where we're gonna come through the firewall there. We probably won't figure out a mount down here till we figure out some more of this. Because we could build a mount from here going up to there where it's the same. Meaning hopefully we don't have to cut that part of the toe board or firewall out. However, due to we still need to figure out our master cylinder and clutch master and blah, blah, blah. That area may have to change. So I think that's good for now. Let's look underneath the hood of this rig. You know what? As much as I want that to slip and fall where this thing just hits me in the head, let's just pull it off for now. That's a factory, just GM intermediate shaft that would have come with this chassis. I think all we're gonna have to do, this is the incorrect knuckle. It's 3/4 on one side, 3/4 on the other. I ordered one like 3 weeks ago that's showing to come in today, later this evening. That's 1 inch on one side. So when we get that one, we should be able to just slide it on to our 1 inch output shaft. And then the output of that knuckle is 3/4 inch. Ooh, except that intermediate shaft is 1 inch, I think. Yeah, it is, because I got some 1 inch right there. So really, I should just got a 1x1 knuckle for 1 inch DD. I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. If I do, I can't find it. I've got other ones, just not what we need. Now, guys, keep all the odds and ends of your steering projects. That right there takes us from one to the some round tubing. Y'all know I usually build oddball stuff, so a lot of it I'm always having to adapt front ends, then adapt steering, so I just usually have a lot of this stuff. Long story short, that looks pretty straight shot, so I think once we get the proper knuckle, we'll just be able to cut us a piece of this to length. It'll just stick through, and then we'll just have to build our sheet metal where it clears it. Should run about like that right there, which should be plenty out of our way for our master cylinders. So we can start to look at that next. And we can hope it goes as smooth as this other stuff's been going. So far, no surprises. There's a shiny new $25 intermediate shaft we'll use on final assembly. Some of these parts come from the salvage yard. Hydroboost setup. No master cylinder on it, but still. And here's what come off the Loadstar from the factory. It's always good to keep everything until you sort these problems out. And then if you're Mortski, you still keep everything. If you're made, then we chunk it once we don't need it. So the first thing we want to do is see where our pedal's at. We can grab the factory push rod, and she's pretty straight right there at the edge of that. And then obviously if there's a master cylinder, our intake plenum's gonna be right in the way. So it looks like we'll be building a custom one of those, or who knows, they maybe sell what we need. checking our gasket to see if this is square. Not quite, is it? Yeah, she's a little longer one way. Seen on eBay they sell just a 90 that would bolt on there. Our problem is if it shoots that away, it ain't gonna help us. We actually need to turn 90 forward, and then we could just build our intake tubing to kind of work through here. For now, we'll set that gasket right back on. I was like, that looks fairly close to that one caster plate I have in the scrap cabinet. And for now, we'll tighten this down, and that'll keep debris out of there. If we gotta make our own, at least we can make it out of a caster plate, huh? Look at that little offset. I wanna keep this. Huh? Oh. Ha-ha. This plate stripped down. Now we know if we hit center of this hole, because this is factory from the Loadstar, with this, the pedal should line right up. So we can drop that in there and center it up that way and then that way. Then I'm gonna make sure these edges run parallel. I think we're gonna be able to just mark around those drill holes and bolt that to each other. Woo-hoo! Hold up, new plan. We could bolt that to that, but then those are gonna be sticking through the back. They may hit over there, then we got a bunch of extra stuff. Or we can drive those studs out, clean this up, lay that to here, and then weld that plate to this plate. No extra studs sticking through the back. And now the problem with that is this right here is going to be in the way of where our clutch master cylinder needs to go. I wonder if that's supposed to face another way. Figured the lines have to be towards the engine or towards the bottom. I had them a minute ago towards the bottom. Surely it goes like that. I remembered I had a master over there on the transmission. It's good. It looks like this is gonna work actually. We may have to go that way like a 1/4 inch and then that way a 1/4 inch or something, but it makes me want to try a totally new idea. My other new tool set coming in handy. Welcome to Puddins Plumbing. Easy on the welder. So cut her down to a circle shape. May cut her down too much. Oopsie daisy. This will only go on one way, so make sure you got it on there correctly. We're gonna mark the top, then we'll mark the top, but then we're gonna offset a hair. Well, yeah, we're gonna have some welding up to do. The good news is there'll be full penetration guaranteed. Looks good. Shoo! Hot doggy. Flap attack, go. Seeing that down? That right there's the way to do that. Now we ain't got to worry about this hitting or that hitting. Welded up them nuts, obviously. I welded up the backside and smoothed it out, ground those nuts off as well. I didn't even want to have to worry about trying to spin this on and stuff being in our way. Whoop! Oh yeah, that's nice. I think this may work out. We're gonna try it. I just realized that mounts at a funky angle, which will actually kind of kick it down and away from our other master, so that may help us out. I do think it's going to benefit us to drive these studs out and put new ones in from behind and weld them. For the same reasons we didn't want the other bolts hanging backwards. Whoo, guys! Because that mounts at that goofy angle, it puts about an 1/8 inch of clearance in there. Can't believe it. Custom stud, just like me, baby. Weld her in from the backside. Basically a repeat process, so I welded those up, welded up the nuts, ground her all down. That should work. With that mountain funky, I had to take a little sheet metal off right there. I mean, just a kiss. And I think over here, I may have to take just a kiss like that right there-ish. And other than that, I think all this stuff's about to bolt right into place. Ground a little off the corner of that. It's not near as much as that camera's making it look. Now I take our rubber mallet and tap this line over. Tap them each over where they're not rubbing each other again. But that one was leaning too far out. So if that leaks in the future, we'll blame the engine builders. 1/8 inch of clearance between that line and that stud there. I think we're still rubbing our pump back there or whatever that is. Woo, this is absolutely insane. As you can see, master cylinders come in. I thought I was gonna simply bolt this in. Yeah, right. I had to grind off a little more on the Hydroboost side of things. By a little more, I mean, damn, did I shave off a lot. As much as I was comfortable with. And then you see that? I cut a spacer to shove that forward. It's because those two flanges were wanting to hit each other. And by we're wanting to, I see now that it's tightened down, they are. So that's good. Where it's rubbing though, we can actually shave a little more. I think that'll clear. We can't do a bigger spacer. That's about as big as we can go. Getting a bolt in over there will be fun. We'll almost have to weld a stud into this going backwards or something. We can't have anything sticking out that backside or it's gonna hit our line. And then that's just plastic. That's not even actually hitting, but I think we could use that and thump on those and just tap them over each a little more. I do think it's gonna work though, which is, whew, that's a tight fit, guys. This body's channeled down 4 or 5 inches more. So obviously everything up in there is going to be a tight fit. I know you're thinking just shift everything over, but when you start doing that, you start getting stuff out of line with pedals. I don't know if you've ever had a rod out of line with a pedal, but it sure makes stuff not happy. These don't bother me. And like I said, I think we shaved that little bit. Oh, there it is. So with this actually rotated back that way, there is my 1/8 inch of clearance back. So we're good there. Now we just got to figure out the master cylinder. Man, that's a real funky angle. I really don't mind it though, because it creates the clearance we need. Don't look bad. At least it's kind of running downhill. I got our master cylinder clearing with just a little bit more persuasion. About I don't know, about an 1/8 inch gap between the bottom of the tank and that line. So if we had it bolted down, everything would be clearing. Now, with all this tightened up, it does look like we could shift this whole thing over a hair and create a lot more clearance over there. Tonight it's just me and Hot Rod, so I'm gonna get in, and I'd rather look at that with a clear brain because my brain ain't braining no more. Morning. Well, as you can see, this is cut apart. I'm not gonna show a whole lot of this. Long story short, we squared off the bottom up, and I cut a 1/4 inch out so we can simply slide that a 1/4 inch over. Weld her all back up, smooth her out. It's gonna give us the clearance we need. Welcome to puddins.fab.shop, where we do all of our machining work in-house. That's a pretty thick flange, or it was. Now here's the deal. We can do proper machining on one, or we may be able to clean this up and be happy with it. We'll probably get a different one because I tried the heat and beat right there and I don't like that. I did the super fun process of installing all that stuff, and the good news is, besides fitting, everything is clearing, and clearing good. So next we do got to figure out a little reservoir mount. Little tappy tap. This has all ended up whooping me more than I planned, but hey, I think I'm getting it. Cut that piece straight. Use a piece of tape, put it on that edge to give us a straight line. I want to come up to our mark. We're gonna put that right there and tack that. See, that's at a crazy angle, so we're just trying to correct that some. Something about like that would work. Then the next time we pull that off there, we can close that all in and make it pretty. That's plastic, so you don't want to get too carried away. Now we're clearing clearance. Now on the inside, we're gonna start with hooking stuff up starting with the clutch pedal. Got our column out of the way. Got this out of the way. That kept hooking me, the seat rail, whatever. Now this pedal's way up here. I'm guessing the mechanical clutch used to help keep that down, so we get to set the position on that. The thing is, I don't know how high I want it. And I was figuring kind of level with the brake would be about right, and that's how this truck's set up. Sounds good to me. Now, not only are we gonna make a stop, we're gonna make her adjustable. Oops. My 3/8 taps a snub nose. We're just gonna have to weld a nut. Classic weld a nut. Off that brace, over to the center of the pedals, 1 inch and 3/16, which is this to here. We'll weld a nut, and then we'll cut this and weld that, and yeah. Hey, look, Ma, I'm a TIG welder. What do you got going on here, Theodore? I don't know. If y'all want, y'all can just take that body and save yourself a lot of rust repair.
Sure. You gotta learn something about dog.
She nice. Go ahead and brace her up. You don't have to call me Merle Haggard anymore. Even though you're on my fighting side, and I'll hang around as long as you will let me. Boy, better not hit me. I'll pop you back. Boy, something's bad off. This welder's popping in a fire! I'm on fire! I'm on fire! Something's in a bind and it's way behind. It's making me weld like crap! I think that's how the song went. Well, I don't know how that looks, but we've got a stopper. Little black paint, she'll be just okay. Obviously with that bolt, we can run it in, we can run it out. That's a little floppy, so we may end up bolting a piece on here up to here, or just over to here. There we go, that'd be the idea. From there to there. Let's play bad news, good news. Bad news, this sits at such an angle, it's creating some of that bind I don't want. Good news is there is a little clearance, so we could angle that up. Bad news is we're gonna have to cut and weld that. Shocker, more fabrication. Good news, I busted that switch off there and come to find out that retains with a snap ring. So once we modify this piece, if we ever got to change this in the future, we can just do the snap ring and be able to swap it right over. We'll take that. Little pie cut action, and then we'll squeeze her together. Tap, tap, tap. We can only do a little or we're gonna start hitting our master cylinder. Yeah, that's about as far as we want to take that. Just a little tack for now. The good news is that straightened it out. See that? See that? Yeah, that's about where we need her. Now we got to make that rod and this rod play nice together. So as you can see, I took this whole sucker apart, pulled a snap ring, that pulls this off. Now I'm prying on this because I think that's what retains that. Sure does. So then that would just push right back in, snap ring goes in, that's good. That means we can cut and weld this rod, because if we ever have to replace this, once we get a new one, we just pull the snap ring and swap the rods over, in theory. 5 5/16. Right there. Good news is this is adjustable, and it has the offset we need. Yeehaw. She's all hooked up and stroking good. Stops right before the floor. Perfect. Now the Hydroboost one ain't removable, so we'll have to build something to interlock to that. Yay, I am so excited. Interlock piece complete, kinda. Needed something 5/8, so I cut us a piece of bolt, drilled a hole. Needed something 5/8, cut us a piece of bolt, drill a hole on the back, plug welded on the back side, and then we just drilled and tapped it so a retaining bolt can go through that. Fancy. I need to weld something on here now where we can put the rod on here and weld that to that. You'll see. Welded a little pad on there, as you can see. So there she is in all of her glory. That now clicks on there, and then you just put a 5/16 bolt with a washer on there, and boom, now we can weld off that pad and attach it to our pedal. Phew! Oh, did y'all see that just click together? The retaining bolt action. Yeah. Oh, that right there's how she's done, son. Boom, baby. Both of those. If we ever got to swap components, that one bolts right on, the other one will swap the rods. Guys, we've got some pedal action up in the Loadstar. Oh, I'm super happy with how all that just turned out, guys. Now, obviously, we ain't got a gas pedal, but I'll be honest, or a throttle. I know she ain't gas, okay? Light me up in the comments. But I don't even know how the throttle works on this thing. And we're not even gonna look into it because I still wanna wrap up this exhaust if possible. I have a Christmas program to go to tonight, so I can't work late. The straight exhaust tubing came in. My 45s have not yet. I'm gonna run over there and make sure they have it, but what I'm gonna try doing is splitting this 90 right in the middle. We got two 45s now. Probably like a 42 and a 48 or something. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. Now I just need a way to measure that. So here's where my lack of experience with doing this is gonna show. So we're gonna do what I always do, which is just wing it and ding it. Tape that piece on. I decided right there we're gonna put our other V-band. Boom, right there. Off the V-band, we're gonna go from the 4 to 5 inch. Then that'll leave connecting that. Now, I'd rather have to do some gap jumping over here. And this is running downhill. And now it's in 1,000 pieces. So I'm gonna hold this as straight as I can and that kind of straight. We're just gonna have to do some eagle eye measuring. I'm gonna try 7 inches. So I had to clock that to take it back, angle it different, and that took some of our drop. So with our clock proper, looks like we need to be right in there. Probably go 7.5, or if that's a hair too much, then we can shave down. Ooh, I almost think we can do something right there. Looks good one way and the other. Come on, mark, 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 mark. 1 9/16. I think I figured her out. Well, I'm glad I took my time. We look straight right there. Pretty stinking straight shot right there. 1 7/8 is what we need between here. Ooh, that was gonna be super strong because it has tungsten in it. Now, in typical puddins.fab.shop fashion, once I brought everything over here, I haven't taken it back over there once to check anything. We're just going for a full tack up, mock up of the old bazooka. The little piece is a little wonky. We got a little gap there for some reason. It's a little out of shape. She'll weld. Whoop, there it is. Yes, it's gonna work. I was trying to full TIG weld this up, but I cannot. I'm just like a totally different person today, like I've never done it, struggling. I don't have enough time to get it done before Christmas program anyhow, but I got us enough weld on this thing that it's pretty stinking solid. Let's try to get her in place. I'm curious to see if we're gonna be able to snake this up in there. Oh, you no good son of a fruit cut. Oh, there it is. That wasn't too bad. On the plus side, I may have forgot how to TIG weld, but look what lines right up. Quite nice, I may say. Hey yo. That's what's about to happen to the rest of that stainless if it ain't damn careful, okay? Quits testing me. Morning, morning. Ooh, today's a fun one. Get out here at 5:30 this morning. The good news is, I was a better TIG welder today. I finished welding that up. We're going for the final install. Hey yo, look at that click together fit right there, folks. Oh. All right, we are hung fully front to back. It's got a little wiggle to her, but nothing crazy. Of course, when we put a new one of these on there, it may help. And we may need to put one hanger up here-ish. I ordered some of those styles, so once they come in, we can hang one, or we may not need to. Well, it's pretty far from there to there. We probably need to. Maybe we don't need to. I don't know. She's pretty solid. She looks pretty awesome. And from now, we're done with it. Baby, there she is, guys. Nothing like shooting some B-roll footage to be reminded how much you don't like those black toolboxes or that headache rack. Good thing they're both easily removable. But other than that, the work we have done, I'm absolutely pumped on how it turned out. I have been dreading doing the exhaust for whatever reason, and it was a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but wasn't too bad. And luckily, she's DUN, she's done. And then same, that firewall stuff, that stuff, whoo, it can be time consuming. Guys, to build this exhaust, if you add all the time I've got into it, I've got more time in building just the exhaust this go around than I had in the entire will it run and drive of that Camaro. That's why doing builds versus like will it runs and stuff takes just so much more time. It's way more time consuming to make this stuff work. Got a full day into figuring out 2 little pedals, you know what I mean? Probably a little more than a day. Depends, are we counting 8-hour days? Because I don't ever have just an 8-hour day. Anyhow, we're gonna wrap up right there, folks. So looks like we're about ready to start maybe figuring out some floor in this thing. Throttle pedal and a lower column mount at that point, but the floor to that tunnel, back of the motor doghouse area, that'll be fun. The main reason I say it like that is I don't like a bunch of boxed stuff. So I've seen a lot of people build these, like box it this way, then that way, and they do all these geometrical shapes. And when they get done, it looks like one of them energized moon crystals that bring you good harmony and peace. But I don't think I want mine to look like an energized moon crystal, so we're gonna have to do some figuring. I like curves, baby. I like them curvy, curvaceous. Never mind. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. That was a lot of fabrication. So if you're here for the fab in the Puddins.fab shop, that should have just made your day. We just touched on all kinds of stuff. So thank y'all so much for the support over the years. For me, I don't know when this video is going out. It's got to be really close to the end of the year. So thank y'all for this last year. Looking forward to a new year, getting this one on the road, seeing how far we can get on Mama's Scout. There may be a 59 in the lineup. Who knows? Who knows? Things are always changing, aren't they? Puddins.fab.shop.com for that good quality merchandise. In fact, we're probably closed right now. And we're probably not going to open up till mid-January. Be doing a big old hoodie and like sweatshirt release, so be ready for that. Much other than that, guys, you can find us on the Facebook, on the Instagram. If you want to support a little more direct towards me and my girls, completely ad-free on the Patreon, you can get all the PFS content. Thank y'all last year. I started that last year because at the first of last year, stuff really fell on its face. And I just thank y'all who's hopped on there and continue to support that way. That means a lot to me and my girls. And just y'all being here watching in general, thank y'all. We will see y'all in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. I know what you're thinking. You said you got out here early. Yeah, we're wrapped up with this one. I've got to load a truck up, and then I'm starting a second channel video for y'all today. And we're gonna get a lot of work done in it too. The Chevy love is calling me again.